Good morning, guys. Yes, we are the new look for this Relationship Wednesday right here on KTN Life and Style with me, Nixie Ann.
And me, Susan Jorge. I hope you're pumped. It is 7 in the morning.
Yes.
And I hope you're ready. It's midweek. So we're here to changamsha you, huh?
Come on, Monday didn't go so well.
You
and
know?
Tuesday, we are here to replenish that energy. We are here to cure your sorrows.
Exactly. But let's slow down.
Uh-huh.
Tell them what this is all about.
They are not ready.
They
are not ready. This is the religion you've been waiting for.
Oh, sis, religion.
Yes, in case you're an atheist, we are coming to change that right now.
I am so dead. So essentially, you're going to be seeing us every single Wednesday morning. These two faces.
Get used to it.
You know?
Uh-huh.
Great mind.
You know?
We're going to be covering all things relationships. Relationships with your man, relationships with your woman, relationships with your mama, relationships with your money, relationships with your cat.
Relationship with yourself,
Yeah.
with your government.
True.
Oh my
Facts.
God, it's pretty much everything that you've been looking forward to. And to propagate this, we're gonna have so many segments tackling all your issues at once.
That's
Imagine
right.
one show and your life is sorted.
Yeah.
Guys, this is the show.
Honestly.
And to start off, we'll have all your views on social, everything that's been trending.
Everything.
Things that you've surfaced, things that we need to resurface just in case emphasis is needed.
And also
We're
sometimes
here for
things that you don't know.
Yeah.
Because you were busy out there hustling. It's okay, don't
Or
worry.
watching AFCON.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got you.
We had the other eye covered,
We
yes.
will let you know what's going on. And then right after that, we have, I think it's my favorite, I'm not sure yet. We
Yeah.
should decide. We have the segment DMC, Deep.
Meaningful conversations.
Exactly.
It's exactly what it is.
That-
Deep,
yeah.
meaningful,
Yeah.
and it's a conversation because we're gonna have guests, we're gonna have experts.
It's going to be lit.
It's gonna be lit, guys.
And then, after that, keeping it real, where we have the man them come and join us. The men come into the conversation. I know you're just looking at these two young
Yeah,
ladies,
and you're
then
like,
wondering, what do we even know about relationships? Don't worry. Relax. The men are going to come and join us and tell us what they think. So that's the time that you have to make sure you tweet, okay? You tweet us and you use the hashtag KTN Life and Style, okay?
We are all about inclusivity, guys. We give the representation of the women out there, and we include the men in this conversation by having two men represent you. So in case you really want your voice to be heard, guys, you really have to tweet.
Yeah, any relationship question,
Yes.
anything under the sun. If you've wanted a place to look to ask those
This is
questions,
the time.
now
This
is
is
the
the
time.
time.
Now
So
is
it's
the
a
time.
conversation for everybody. Us,
Exactly.
you, them, everyone is included.
yeah. And if you're not on Twitter or you want to be anonymous, just message the KTN Life and Style Facebook page.
Definitely. And then later on, we'll have Violetta come over. In case you don't know who Violetta is,
You'll meet her today.
yes, on Tonight on KTN. But first, let's start with a trending topic for the week.
Hey, on the social.
Yeah.
On the social media.
Yeah.
Kenyans.
KOTs, you know.
Even the international community.
Yeah.
I don't know. We were talking about how there's a wave of just cray.
Yeah, but
Happening
we are
in
living for it.
2019.
We are living for it. We are living for it, guys, because the madness you portray out there is exactly what we need here.
And the first story actually covers all relationships. Relationships with your family,
Oh,
your home, your girlfriend,
siblings,
your
especially,
siblings, your girlfriends, because some people have more than one.
People are doing the most in the streets, you people, yeah? So what story is this, Susan? I'm also intrigued.
Oh my God. So you guys know the American rapper Blueface. Blueface is the guy
Bust
for
down,
Tatiana.
Tatiana.
Bust down, Tatiana. Hey, bust down, Tatiana. So Blueface had a serious squabble and he's having an online fight with his family. So what happened is Blueface has two girlfriends that he's staying with right now. Yeah, that's right. You didn't hear
Is
it
that
wrong.
hashtag blessed? Who knows?
You know what I mean?
I don't know if that
Two girlfriends staying
qualifies.
with him right now. So apparently there was a squabble because the mom and the sister, who are also staying with him in the house, had an argument with the girlfriends because I thought the girlfriends were rude.
Yeah, like they just pretend her like this.
They just came and said those.
That's
Didn't even say
true.
hi.
Yeah.
So Blueface kicked his mama and his sister out the house.
Good thing is the mom is very like social media, you know. She
Yeah.
keeps up with social media
You know?
and the millennials. So she had everything recorded on live.
Instagram Live, yeah.
Instagram Live the whole time. And this, of course, caused Blueface to think, oh, wow, like my mom is just like an attention seeker.
Yeah,
and whatever.
he called his mom a clout. Is it
A cloud chaser. That is so.
Yeah, it's harsh.
Towards your mom, honestly, as much as, to be very honest, the mom had no right to also portray his private life publicly like that.
But in the
at
video,
the same time,
we see him
it's your
kick
mom.
his sister.
Yes.
So I'm also just like, fam, like you can really kick people out without physically kicking them.
Especially your mom, guys. Seriously, like this violence thing is getting out of hand.
Yeah, it's a bit wild.
Because in Kenya so far, also internationally, we've had so many boyfriends, you know, attack their girlfriends, and you know, so it's like it's getting out of hand. It's getting to a point where it's no longer about the girlfriends. It's now all the way to your mom.
Anyway, let's move on to the next story.
Harambee Stars, guys. Yes, they finna did it proud.
No, honestly,
yes. I saw those memes trending about Kenya, Harambee Stars in Senegal.
Yeah.
Honestly, some of them were kind of mean.
I mean, I'll be honest, like a lot of
mean.
Kenyans were a bit nervous going in. There were some of us that were ready. We were like, now we're going to kill it like we did against Tanzania.
That's
Go in, let's do this.
Yeah.
But no, the boys played so well. And man of the match, Patrick
Matasi. We have to give it to him. I've been following the conversations on Twitter. Some Kenyans are very happy about it. Other Kenyans are mad because they're saying the government didn't fully support the team.
No, I like the way we console ourselves though. After Senegal,
we always find a nini.
That's how we were just patting ourselves on the back.
And at least we already won. The only thing we can actually look forward to is if Kenya comes at least #3 in the next AFCON match. At least, fingers crossed. But Tanzania has been winning at something, guys. I feel like we guys have a bromance.
We do. It's always like you win here and then something else picks somewhere else.
Last week we had that hashtag Kentan, Kenya Tanzania after Harambee Stars, and you know Tanzania came head to head. And of course we won, guys. We don't have to remind you that. But at least them they're winning with Diamond and the releases and everything. But that's not the focus for today. The focus is Diamond and Tanasha.
As usual. I think they're my favorite celebrity couple right now.
So far, yes. And I feel like finally, at least maybe, or rather I hope, that Diamond actually gets to marry Tanasha.
But if you've seen that
video, they have so many similarities.
Dude, things are getting so serious. So turns out Diamond's mom and Tanasha, born in the same month, apparently born in the same day. So
if you've been waiting for a sign from the universe, this is the sign. Your mom and your girlfriend, same birthday. Come on. Come on.
So shout out to Diamond and Tanasha, wishing you guys all the best.
Yeah, but on a sad note, we have Bob Collymore.
Yes, there was a sad news this week.
Yeah, that was the saddest news this week for all Kenyans, at least at large, for his family and his friends and his co-workers.
Yeah.
It's such a sad moment, honestly. But I feel like from this story, one thing we can take from it is the fact that at all costs, family always got you, because right about now, most Kenyans have already moved on to, you know, who is going to replace who and whatever. Anyway, you guys can follow all that up on Twitter and all these other social media platforms.
Condolences to his family.
Definitely.
Now, Relationship Wednesdays, guys. So,
what's the main story?
The main story of the day, which is going to lead us into our DMC, is how long is too long to stay at home with your parents. The arrangement of living at, I mean, we all start living at home. Yeah, obviously. But at what point do you think, you know what I mean? But at what point is it that you think that it's time for you to leave, or should you ever leave at all? And that's what we're going to be talking about.
And to propel this particular conversation, you're going to watch a clip, and then later we're going to be joined by a guest. You know who I'm talking about, Benji Ndolo.
Stay tuned, guys.
Sasa inategemea ule umri, pia na ile kazi kama amepata inaweza kujitegemea vizuri, anaweza kuondoka. Lakini pia haifai pia akae kwa wazazi miaka mingi.
Isizidi miaka 25, miaka 22 hapo nitakana jamaa jatufute kwake. Atakuwa sasa kwa mtu machua.
At least we should prepare a man. You know, when you are a man, at least at the age of 25 you are seeing somebody there and you take the responsibility. Yeah, you are ready to take your own responsibility.
Yes, since birth up to after initiation.
So guys, you've watched the clip, and I know you all have a lot to say, which is really good because you can tell us your thoughts. You can share with us rather your thoughts. You see, I'm already nervous for this. You can share with us your thoughts on Twitter and every other social media platform at #KTN Life and Style. But for now, we've been joined by Benji Ndolo, and he's going to tell us what do you think about the main question for today? How long is too long until you can leave your parents' house?
Yeah.
First of all, I've never met anyone named Nixie Ann. So
this is always a first time to everything.
Beautiful name. Yeah, nice to meet you guys, Susan.
Nice to meet you too. Welcome.
Yeah. So how long before someone leaves?
Yes.
As long as possible.
Okay.
All right.
sometimes.
Yeah.
As long as practically possible. You know, different circumstances for different guys. Personally, I left very young. And sometimes that's not necessarily the right thing. I have an auntie of mine who insists that none of her children will go do their first degree in their late teens and early 20s. Like for me, I went to the States.
Okay.
And she just feels, you know, you still are. So in my day, we thought we were really grown at 20.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys kind of feel that way. But you get to 30 and you realize you're still very young. So I don't know, there's pros and cons. But we also need to push the message of succession of sorts so that young people are not just depending on their aging parents for everything.
Right.
And in essence, living irresponsible lives. So
Okay.
that's kind of my mantra.
So for you said
No matter what you've had out there.
no matter what we've heard out there. Yeah, we were just gonna be like, this is
You know,
different.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, this is
Yeah, totally.
new,
Yeah, that's the thing with
honestly.
online is, you know, there's a whole bunch of things you'll hear. Oh, Nixian is this.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
whose wife.
Yeah.
But when you really get to know her, you're like, oh, she's actually
Wait
not.
a minute,
Yeah,
that's true.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
That's
That's
true.
very true.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said at 20, of course, you think you've got everything figured out, but at 20, you're probably still in uni, or maybe you're going to uni. Maybe you haven't even
You haven't even,
university
you
yet.
haven't even decided what you want
What
And
you
to
want
be
to-
honest, you're actually a
That's
baby.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's so much that you haven't been like
Yes.
exposed to.
Yes.
But maybe some people would argue later on, like I mean, even for youth in Kenya, it's 35 and under. So at some age, maybe some people would argue that perhaps it's time,
about time
to
now.
give yourself that space, even that independence, to be able to build your own life. So would you think maybe by 35 and late 30s, it's not yet time for you to be out of the house?
It, like I said, even at 2019, which is the year,
Yes.
at 19 years and 20, it is time. But I think that what is most important is keeping the links together, because you see also there's people that move and move for it and like disappear.
Right, they don't stay in contact with family.
Exactly.
Okay.
Go to France, go to Belgium, go wherever.
Yeah.
And you're grown and you feel like it's
Those
okay.
are the
Yeah.
tweets and phone calls with
I
their
know,
questions.
it's like
Guys,
they can't stop
use
coming.
the
They
hashtag.
cannot stop coming.
Use the hashtag. It's
We are not
okay.
mad. We are not mad.
And so in the name of independence, you're just like, you know what? I'm so done with my family. I'm so done with where I came. Always remember your roots.
Right.
Strive for independence, but remember to keep the links and to give back so that you have a kind of a full and meaningful life.
Okay.
I was actually quite surprised now that you say it, that Bob Collymore, who's not really Kenyan,
Yeah.
didn't want to be interred in Guyana, where he's from.
Yeah.
That just
Right.
kind of shows you how internationally cosmopolitan his thinking was.
Yeah.
You know, from Guyana to London and many other countries, and build, you know, your legacy and your everything, you know, in Kenya,
Yeah.
and die and be buried in Kenya.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that we kind of need to think through these things, but I think also if we push the whole thing of independence, then you have a lot of young people just thinking, mi nikitoka nikienda Belgium manze ni hivyo.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
not coming back. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, and
But at the
so-
same time, looking at how the society is structured, yeah,
Yeah.
especially towards the men,
Yeah.
normally it's,
Pressure.
the pressure is there.
Yeah.
That's like
Okay,
by
that's
25, by
Yeah.
27, by
Yeah.
35,
Yeah.
you should be out of your
You're being asked,
mom's
what are you
house.
doing
Yeah.
now?
And actually, they expect you to be able to afford to buy your mom a house. So that societal pressure is what we're talking about.
And that's not realistic in today's world, in today's economy. There are no jobs.
Especially that.
Business is really hard.
True.
Cost of money. I mean, I'm a policy guy. I'm pretty sure that's why you guys call me here. So I understand and
just-
look at it from the different angles.
That's
I mean, if you look at banking, if you look at the interest rates regime, under the rate cap regime, if you look at job opportunities, if you look at just the ability, our lack of savings culture, but
Yeah.
also how low the incomes are. And I have all the data. I
Yeah.
do this. Just to give you an example, 90% of Kenyans earn 50,000 shillings and less.
Right.
Okay,
Wow.
90% of Kenyans earn that.
So you compare that.
And then
against-
even in campus, okay, so you're in campus, you're 19, you're dating a guy that's 22. You both are in our parents' days. There's something called boom, which is an
Yeah.
allowance.
That thing sounded amazing.
Yeah, which is not there now.
Bring it back, bring back boom. I'll go back to school.
Which is not there now. So
Yeah.
the guy who is a student is expected to take this girl out to Java,
Right.
to clubs,
Yeah.
to Malindi,
And you do the math.
etc.
It doesn't
The
add
math doesn't add up.
doesn't make
Right.
sense.
That's
So usually that's now where a guy like me comes in, which is wrong. And mostly it's a married guy,
That's
a guy
true. Yeah.
with lots of. So you see, it also creates a lot of societal issues which eventually lead up to a lot of dysfunctional, you know,
That's very true.
relationships.
That's true.
That's true.
Because of the resentment, the bitterness. You
I
know,
get that.
I dated you, we had no money together. Now you want to date this MP, blah, blah, blah.
Because of the allowances and stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, let me take us back to...
The mismatches and whatnot.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because it's like you're looking for something that your age mate, and even you yourself can't give yourself.
Exactly.
So you go looking for it elsewhere.
And even which your dad can't give you.
Exactly.
But you want your
So you go
boyfriend to
look-
give you. How now?
You go look for it elsewhere.
Yeah.
So there is like I like the way that you've talked about the economical baggage, because even as conversations we've had with people, it's always the first thing that comes up.
Yeah.
Of
Money.
moving out, it's a cost.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
true.
But I want to ask, let's say you're earning some money and you are living at home, because there are some people who at least you have the job and maybe you're saving, you're looking for that stability to leave. But then there's also that thing of, what do you think about people contributing within the household? Like now you've been there for a couple of years, you've been working,
Yeah.
your parents also work. Do you think that you should at least be, nalipa Wi-Fi, at least, nalipa elek,
At least you
Good
get
question.
the
So you
house
get
help,
some
you know.
independence.
Good question,
That's true.
Susan. That goes without say. That goes without say. Like, for example, how we were raised, especially by my dad. You know, the whole thing of sharing and being responsible. That goes without say. You don't need your mom to push you to pay the Wi-Fi, to pay water, to pay electricity.
It should come automatically.
If you are earning some money, it's like birth.
Yes, and you're just thinking, oh, my money is for brandy every Friday.
Yeah.
That's wrong. That's irresponsible. That's selfish. So taking up some of the burden and growing that burden over time, and then even taking up the whole responsibility,
Yeah.
that's the way to go. And so some of these shows, you know, media is really powerful. There's young people that are just very impressionable that are watching us, that, you know, are getting their lessons from social media. It's good for them to know that you kind of want to help your parents without them even asking you to do that.
Definitely.
And just filling their shoes as much
Right.
as you can
But
and
at the same
giving
time,
that
there are
support.
parents who actually don't mind it. And you know, kudekeza mtoto, yeah?
There's,
But that's
there's
also
the
wrong.
opposite.
There's
There's
the
the
opposite
opposite
now.
now.
Parents
yeah,
just
but that's
want to do
also
the
wrong,
most.
especially the ones who are well-to-do. I went to a private school here in Nairobi. I was raised in Nairobi. So you're right. I totally understand that dynamic. You have parents that
They want to cuddle you. They don't want you
That's
to
true.
leave. They're like, just stay
Yeah.
there. Where are you going? Your room is here. It's fine. Okay, there's
Yeah.
a company aspect of yes.
I actually think there's a term for it. It's called helicopter. It comes from helicopter parenting, where your parent is like, you know,
Just
Toto, you need this. Let me buy your first car.
That's really
Let me talk to
sad.
my friend to give you a job. You don't have to go to the job because the chairman is my friend.
It's
wow.
okay.
You know, yeah. So those parents also raise irresponsible citizens.
And a bit crippled people in
Yeah,
terms of decision
exactly,
making.
exactly.
That's true.
You know, so that you're really at CEO level, and you're like, you know what? Let me ask my mom what I should do. That's
Yeah,
terrible.
That's
Yeah.
true. And also
That's-
sometimes it's unfortunate, but stuff does happen. Your parents are older than you. They will go.
Exactly.
They will leave
At
this
some
earth.
point.
So if you
Exactly.
haven't done things or learned about how society works,
And let me
at
just
some point
say,
it's like,
without being sexist, let me just say without being sexist. So in our family, we're two guys,
Okay.
just me and one brother. And I think it's even worse when you raise boys like that, because you're raising men.
right.
And yeah, and in today's politically correct world, you
Uh-huh.
know, it's like guys are raising these soft dudes.
Yes, at least somebody said it
Hey,
fast.
Nixie is like,
And that's why I had to give the disclaimer, you know.
yes.
There's-
wow.
That was
I mean, you've got to
necessary.
raise men. And now
Right.
you've got, I've seen guys having total meltdowns from cyberbullying, from
Yeah.
actual bullying, from whatnot.
because it's like you, but now let me ask you,
Because your parent has,
Yeah,
you know,
but
hovered and
let me ask
you've
you
just
then.
basically become a geezer.
Yeah, let me ask you then, in that context, what are things that you think maybe your parents did or what other parents should do that would then be able to give, you know, that boy, child, who then becomes a man, some of
Yeah.
that independence? What should happen in that raising process?
The answer is some tough love, which again, today, so like, my dad was a very loving guy, but he's also a very tough guy.
Yeah.
And especially for
Best
boys,
of both worlds.
yeah, I
But
think
there's
that's
such
important.
a thin line, honestly. 'Cause
That's the
now if you're
thing.
too tough,
That's the point,
you raise
Vixian.
another
That's
group of
that's
people, you know, you
that
don't
is
wanna
actually
see
the
them.
point.
Yeah.
That's actually
Right.
the point. Is that there is a thin line between tough love and abuse.
Yeah.
And especially nowadays, yeah, because you don't
Yes.
want. For example, I mean, look at me. I'm a big guy. You don't a guy like me, you know, beating up my son, and yet
That's
people do
true.
that. I mean, you just talked about that in your news segment. It baffles me
The
that in
violence.
21st century,
Yeah.
there's guys that actually
more
beat up their. I
prevalent.
handle that on social media all the time because I'm one of
Right.
the, You know, I do a lot of advocacy work, and I'm one of the guys that feels very strong. I mean, can you imagine like me and her fighting physically? Are you kidding me?
What are the chances, guys?
And people
what are
actually,
the chances?
in fact, I remember Jalango, who's a big, I think he used to be here. I remember Jala saying in their culture, in Nyanza, typically, traditionally back in the day, kulikuwa na siku moja ya kupiga baby.
Yeah, or ever.
What?
Like in the month.
First of all, why
Are
what?
you serious?
And it's like it's a Thursday, and in the morning when you wake up, you're like, Leo ni siku ya kupiga baby. You should also read Barack Obama's book, Dreams of My Father, where he talks about his grandmother, and she's like, and I quote, and you can bring the book here. Sisi wanawake tuna kisirani, and once in a while, lazima tuchapwe. It's in Barack Obama's book.
But like that belief.
And just to imagine that people have carried on that culture up to today, where there's all this violence on your kids.
Yeah.
Yes, spare the rod, spoil the child. But just to imagine that there are men that actually, and you see it on Facebook and all of this.
Yeah.
I mean, guys are there's of course the whole argument about what did she do, etc. But there's no justification
For violence.
violence because you can just let her go. Yeah, and just
you can break up.
Exactly.
If it's a relationship, even this
That's
marriage.
always
But some
an
will
option,
say,
people.
but
It's
some,
always an
yeah,
option.
but some will say, oh, you know, Benji's so progressive. His ideas are from where, you know. Yeah, but it's really, really unbelievable. So in that kind of context, once again, let's get back on track. Raise your kids with a lot of love.
Yes.
Some tough love. Correct them when they're wrong. But this whole thing of, you know, papering the child and
Yeah, but at the
throughout,
same
it's-
time, don't you think, you know, the society screams all the time,
yeah.
boy child, be strong, be a man, you know.
Yeah.
But sometimes I feel like it's okay for a man to cry.
It is
like,
100%
cry, be
I agree.
emotional, you
For a
know.
man to cry means he's actually strong and secure in himself and confident.
To show his
Oh,
emotion.
amen.
Like, I can cry.
Amen. I agree.
Definitely. And-
But you did this and I was like, is he gonna cry right now?
No, but I can cry. I mean,
I was like, oh, this is great.
there's a lot of BS, especially in the conservative African setting, that, you know, people focus on the wrong things. Everyone has to have a PhD. A man should never cry.
Yeah.
You know,
I think these days a bachelor's degrees are going to is it?
even a robber is a mheshimiwa. So we've got a lot of smokes and mirrors things going on.
That's, yeah.
And so you've got a lot of misplaced priorities and misconceptions.
That's true.
You know, that, for example, I'm sure you've seen this. Sometimes when a guy likes you, he pretends he doesn't. Then when
Yeah.
you like someone else, he catches
Playing
up
hard
with
But
you.
to
that
get.
used to happen a lot when you were like
Yeah.
6 years old, 7 years old.
Exactly,
You
yeah,
always used to attack
yeah.
that person that you had a crush on. It's like, I have a crush
Is there a
on-
difference
Or even ignore.
between-
Or even ignore.
them,
Exactly.
which is
yeah.
Is there a
so
difference
weird.
between playing hard to get, like now when you're older and you're trying to be in a relationship, but then also maybe you don't want to seem, you know, so available. So is there like a middle
Like a
ground?
balance?
Or you're
Another
just, yeah,
thin
or you're
line.
just supposed to be
There's
like,
such a
me, I
thin
love
line.
you,
Yes.
I've planned our wedding, like let's do this
Okay,
damn
I'll
thing.
just sneak on you girls a secret, which, by the way, I've found quite lacking in this market.
I'm quite lacking.
Yeah. You know, for guys, for most guys, confidence in a woman is a turn on.
Right.
And usually that's not there. And I'm just thinking about that when Susan is saying, should you say this, should you know, when you're bold and you can just set the agenda
And what you
and
want.
your interest and what you want,
Right.
that's a good thing.
Okay.
Because it shows self, you know, awareness and self-confidence.
Yeah.
And all of those are good things. And now what you have is you just have a whole bunch of jumbled up communication where
Yeah.
many a time in dating, and I'm sure you guys see this all the time,
Yeah.
you just don't even know where this is going or what this is. It's like a big waste of time.
Right.
And that's really, and the worst part about it, especially nowadays, so again, in the 90s, it was very difficult to find young single moms.
Yeah.
And nowadays, that's a norm. And it's because people are finding out all these miscommunications and issues after the fact.
Right.
You have 2 kids, and then you're just like, by the way, who is this guy? Like, who is this guy?
Wow.
You just
Exactly.
you look across and you're just
Yeah, like how come I have to tell him to buy diapers? Like, really?
it's
You have
like
to tell me
20
to buy
hours to
diapers?
talk wapi. It's like you came
Exactly.
home one day and then
Yeah.
That's
they
true.
came.
So this is the reality, and that's why there's so much bitterness, resentment, issues.
So I want to take a question from social media. Shout out to you guys, man. You've really done the do, and you are talking to us using the hashtag KTN Life and Style.
And we are dispelling rumors here. and,
You-
like, bring all the questions.
We're bringing them all rumors. Just ask.
Yeah.
So there's actually somebody. This is on Twitter @rog_boss. And he said that he's talking to KTN Kenya, and he's talking to us, and he says, you are not supposed to go back to your parents' home as soon as you graduate from college. When it's time to pack from college hostels, never go back lest you kill them with stress. Get any job gettable and be independent.
No.
Hashtag KTN life
Oh
and
God,
style.
I disagree with that on all levels.
First of all, is gettable a word?
Now it is.
But I like the context.
Yeah, I like how
whatever
it's
job
been
is
used.
gettable.
Yes, but I feel like, honestly, now that's the pressure we are talking about.
Yeah.
Because the moment you're done with campus, have you seen how hard it is to get jobs in these streets?
It
It's
is.
really hard. So
It
you
is.
see people who actually come to Nairobi for their studies, and they
Yes.
probably live in a place like Nakuru.
Yeah.
That's quite a distance, yeah?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
them being here and saying, you know what, I'll continue being here. So it's your parents still funding you. You're not doing anything.
It's a lot.
Go back home and actually look for jobs while you're in a place where you're not straining your parents at the same time, you know.
Anyway, so,
So
if you agree with at rogue_boss, or maybe you agree with Nixie, you want to talk to Benji Dollar or myself, keep using the hashtag KTN Life and Style. We're going to have so much more coming your way. So we're going to take a little tiny break, and Life and Style will be right back.